What's being said about Alabama's recruiting surge? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black coming back once again to talk about Alabama recruiting, where Coach Kaylin Dare for the month of June went on a recruiting tear. We'll see if that can continue for the month of July, and we won't have to wait long because you know what? Today, five-star wide receiver Cedric Morgan will be committing. He's predicted to commit to Alabama, but we don't know that for sure. Hopefully he will commit to my Alabama Crimson Tide. But if not, good luck to him wherever he commits to. But anyway, he'll be committing today on YouTube live on the 247 YouTube Sports channel at 12 noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hopefully Coach Kaylin Dare and his staff can get this guy to commit to Alabama. All right, I'm sure he already know where he's going to commit to. And for our sake, hopefully, it's to our Alabama Crimson Tide. But let's get on with it. I will be watching, hoping that he commit to our Alabama Crimson Tide. But anyway, what's being said about this Alabama recruiting tear that Coach Kaylin Dare has been on. All right, if you want to read this article for yourself, it's on The Athletic. Shout out to The Athletic. The author is Grace Rayner. Okay, so let's get into what the article has to say about Alabama and their recruiting. Got some words from a recruit in this article. Got words from a couple of high school coaches. So people are talking. The Crimson Tide started June with 5 commits. They are now up to 16 in a class that ranks number 7 nationally with an average player rating of 92.01. The last week has been especially impressive. Yes, especially impressive. With commits from 5-star edge Xavier Griffin from Georgia, in-state top 50 running back Xavier Crowwell, and top 100 tight end Max Sutter from Illinois. Following a less than ideal season on the field, Coach Kaylin Dare is proving that he can get things done on the recruiting trail, and we have seen him doing it all through the month of June. He is getting it done, especially these past 4 or 5 days, okay? I feel good about the people we have committed and the people we've still got that are going to make their decision to come to Alabama, said three-star linebacker Zay Hall, a Tuscaloosa, Alabama native who committed on June 27th. He says, I feel like this is a great class, great people, and great athletes for sure. But we ain't done getting commits. I feel like it'll probably be one of the greatest classes in the country. He said it. Alabama ain't done. He ain't the only one that said it. Xavier Crowwell said it also. They ain't done. Alabama is projected to get 2 to 3 more 5-stars at least. 5-star wide receiver, as I said, Cedric Morgan will be committing somewhere today. He's predicted to Alabama. And also, another 5-star is predicted to Alabama. He's supposed to commit on Friday, I believe. Friday, July 4th, I believe. But anyway, one at a time. That's all I'm concentrating on, one at a time. As I said, hopefully we can get Cedric Morgan. All right. Also goes on to say, I feel like Coach Dare is a great recruiter. He breaks things down about football, of course, but also things outside of football that made parents feel good about their child being around him. For his first time recruiting down here, he's impressed a lot of people. He's shocked a lot of people. He's done an amazing job. Yes, he have impressed a lot of people with his recruiting. And like I said, he has shocked a lot of people because coming from the Pac-12, Washington, a lot of people doubted Coach Kaylin Dare. We all know what they said. He can't recruit the South. He can't recruit in the SEC. Alabama is done. That's what they said. That's what they said. He shocked a lot of people by winning 9 games in his first season as head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yeah, you can talk about the games that he lost, okay? But also talk about the fact that he was a first-year head coach at Alabama and won 9 games. I can't name another Alabama coach that has done that. And Alabama then had 2 of the greatest coaches, the 2 greatest coaches in Alabama football history, and they didn't do that. But even after he did that, haters, naysayers, and doubters still continue to speak down on Coach Kaylin Dare and his abilities. And I'm talking about recruiting abilities and coaching ability. Okay? But he's proven that he can do it as far as recruiting. And I feel, for one, that he will prove it on the field this year, 2025. But anyway, yes, he's done an amazing job. Cody Flournoy, the head coach at Jackson High School in Alabama, among those impressed with Dare's in-state recruiting efforts. Flournoy coaches Crowwell, who is ranked 33rd overall and the number 2 ranked running back in the class. Crowwell chose the Crimson Tide over Auburn, Georgia, and Texas, with the Bulldogs and Longhorns emerging as big players in his recruitment. Flournoy is the first to admit that he has historically been an Alabama fan, but he sang Dare's praises for keeping Crowwell home and how the Crimson Tide have continued to load up on top prospects in the post-Nick Saban era. As I said, the doubters, the naysayers, the haters thought Alabama was done getting the top prospects. Matter of fact, they thought Alabama was done because it was the NIL era, saying Alabama don't have enough money. Well, guess what? Post Nick Saban is gone. In come Coach Kaylin Dare. It's still the NIL era, and Alabama is still getting top recruits. Yeah, we sit at number 7 right now. But as I said before, Alabama will have a top 5 recruiting class. And the way it's looking, top 3. The way it's looking. But anyway, we got to hold on to these recruits, okay? We got to hold on to them. But yeah, we still getting top prospects in the Nick Saban era. Goes on to say they're doing the right thing. This is what Flournoy said. They're doing the right thing. What a big get, Landon Crowwell, for an in-state school is one of those situations where if you let this guy get out of state, whether it's Auburn or Bama, that sends up a lot of red flags. So kudos to them for getting it done. For Dare to lock it down, I think it means a lot to get your in-state guys. And it do. You want a lot of guys from in-state. You don't want them to go nowhere else. All right. But to mention Auburn, you know, last season or last year how Auburn was celebrating. Hey, we getting all the in-state recruits. Alabama can't get in-state recruits without Nick Saban. Well, look at us now and look at you now, Auburn. You can't seem to get nobody. Right now, I think Auburn is sitting like 84th in recruiting, something like that. You got a long way to go, Auburn. I just want you to know that. But our Alabama Crimson Tide and our coaching staff is locking it down, man. It's locking it down. But it is important to keep these guys in state. But anyway, he says, I think it just means a lot to get your in-state guys. That just makes statements. Coach Kaylin Dare is making statements all over the country. I just want you to know. This comes after Dare signed only 2 in-state products, including none ranked in the top 10 in the 2025 cycle. Only 2 in-state products last season. 2 in-state recruits. Neither one of them was ranked. But look at us now. Getting in-state 5 stars. Come on, man. It's not just the Southeast where Dare has excelled. The Crimson Tide have picked up 4 commits from the Midwest too, landing prospects from Indiana, Nebraska, Ohio, and Illinois. Max Sutter, ranked 8th nationally, represents A Big Ten victory for DeBoer. A Big Ten in Big Ten country where Alabama beat out Ohio State, Illinois, and Ole Miss for his pledge. Now, Max Sutter, he's a four-star tight end. Big guy, about 6'3", 6'4", 220, something like that. Big guy. And he can get open. That's a tight end that can get open. Trust me on that. But anyway, big pickup. I think that says a lot, says Brett Cazalet, Sutter's coach at Dunlap High School in Illinois. Obviously, Alabama did a great job recruiting. But I think it says a lot about Mac that there was a lot of pressure to kind of stay in the Big Ten. All right, and go to a Midwest school. He knew what he was looking for. The school that provided him those opportunities was Alabama. I can't imagine stepping in Saban's shoes. But Coach DeBoer, the one thing that's very impressive to everyone is that he's won on all levels. He's not a guy that just kind of started at a high Division I level and worked up that way. He's done it at all levels. And I think with high school coaches, that's an impressive thing. That's very unique in the world today. You damn right. He done it at every level. High school, NAIA, all levels. All levels. Fresno State, man. Come on, man. All levels. He ain't nothing but a winner. And what the winners do, according to Kaylin Dare, winners win. And that's what Kaylin Dare is doing. He's winning on the recruiting trail now. And it's going to, follow him over to the football field. This team, this Alabama team, is connected now. They talk continuity. And they building that continuity. As we speak, they've been doing that since day one of the spring. That is why you had no scholarship players to transfer. That is why. I'm telling y'all, man. But this guy done won at every level. I keep telling y'all he ain't nothing but a winner. That's all Coach Kaylin Dare is. And he got his right-hand man back. The guy he's won at every level with. All right? Every level with Ryan Grubb. But anyway, keep it going. Cazalet said co-offensive coordinator Nick Sheridan made the trip to Illinois and offered Sutter on the spot after watching him work out last spring. Cazalet then drove Sutter to the epic Alabama-Georgia game in the fall. And Sutter visited the Crimson Tide again for the Iron Bowl. He took an official visit to Tuscaloosa last month, which provided even more clarity that Alabama was the right spot. Cazalet credited Alabama tight end coach Bill Ellis for his approach to recruiting Sutter. You see how they mentioning more than just one person on the staff? More than just one. All right. Brian Ellis, Nick Sheridan, Coach Kaylin Dare. And let's not forget the head of recruiting, Courtney Morgan. Let's not forget him. Come on, man. It is crazy. Freddie Roach. Alabama got a great staff, great recruiters. I mean, it is crazy, man. It is crazy. I know a lot of programs, like it mentions Michigan in this article. I'm sure they got a great staff with great recruiters also. But I'm only focusing on one team, and that's my Alabama Crimson Tide. Because guess what? OKB don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, man. Cazalet credited tight end coach Brian Ellis for his approach to recruiting Sutter. Coach Ellis, I think as you see his personality, he's not he's not on the top of you all the time. He's more to the point. We want you, stay in contact, build a relationship, but not bothering Mac all the time. And I think Mac appreciated that. Yes. You ain't got to bother these recruits all the time. Or you can call them once a week. Long as you keeping in touch with them. Make sure, call them once a week, maybe twice a week. Hey, you need anything? You good? You know what I'm saying? We're going to come up and see you on this. You ain't got to bother them all the daggone time. All right, just make sure you build that relationship and make sure the kid is good. And as you can see, that's what Brian Ellis was doing. and it resonated with Max Sutter. Alabama got everything he was looking for, just like a lot of these other commits. But I just wanted to let y'all know what these guys is saying, how people are looking at Alabama right now as far as recruiting. Alabama, hey, they got it going on. And I told y'all last week, Nick Saban didn't make Alabama. Nick Saban didn't build Alabama. Alabama is a brand, and Alabama been a brand for a long damn time. And that brand is what brings these athletes to Alabama. No certain person, no one. People came to Alabama to play for Nick Saban. But they also came to Alabama because it's Alabama. That's fact. That is fact. And all Coach Kaylin Dare is doing is keeping the tradition going of getting these high caliber athletes, man. This man brought in the number 3 recruiting class last season, 2025. Number 3 recruiting class. And he was at Alabama for how long? Not long. Not long. Less than a year. Brought in the number 3 recruiting class. And this year, he's doing it again. Doing it again. Recruiting class probably be ranked higher than it was last season when it's all said and done. So what am I saying? The number 1, maybe number 2 ranked recruiting class. The way things are shaping up. So stop doubting my coach, Kaylin Dare. Because he's getting it done. There's no reason for any Alabama fan to be doubting Coach Kaylin Dare right now. Alabama future looks good. They're looking good. And I done said it, and I'll say it again. If everything take care of itself on the field, Alabama is winning on the field. They're producing at a high level on the field. Some of these commits that's committed to other programs will flip to the University of Alabama and Coach Kaylin Dare. Watch what I tell you. But again, Cedric Morgan, 5-star wide receiver, will be committing today. Live on YouTube. 247 Sports YouTube channel. 12 noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. Y'all tune in. And hopefully he'll commit to our Alabama Crimson Tide. But until then, y'all be blessed. And remember, KB don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. And roll damn Tide.